And this morning, we are learning more about the people ICE has arrested and hearing from immigrants.
Some of them later exploit and abuse these children.
More than 400,000 children pass through family reunification systems every year, moving across states under programs designed to reconnect families, stabilize households, and protect minors in transition. But investigators now say a small portion of that system may have been operating under a different purpose. And that's where things stopped making sense. Over the past 18 months, federal analysts flagged 26 children transferred under approved reunification cases who never arrived at their recorded destinations, along with 18 falsified case files and a network of recipients who could not be verified as real individuals. What began as a routine audit has now expanded into a multi-agency investigation involving interstate transfers, identity records, and placement systems operating inside official child services channels. And just before dawn, that investigation led federal agents to a coordinated operation targeting what may be one of the most disturbing child transfer networks uncovered in recent years. Want the full truth? Stay with me. I'll show you how a system built to reunite families became something else entirely. At 4:10 a.m., most of the residential blocks in a quiet suburban area outside Dallas were still dark, with only scattered streetlights reflecting off parked cars and closed houses, everything appearing calm and undisturbed. But that calm didn't last long. Across a radius of several streets, federal units had already taken position, supported by coordinated teams from multiple agencies moving silently into assigned locations. Surveillance vehicles were staged at key intersections, while entry teams waited for the final signal outside 3 separate properties linked to the same case. The operation had been built over weeks of analysis, tracing case files, transfer records, and identity data connected to a group of family reunification cases that appeared legitimate on the surface. On paper, the children had been placed into stable homes with verified relatives. But investigators had already confirmed that several of those recipients did not exist. And that changed everything. By the time command issued the order, the situation had already shifted beyond review. This was no longer a case audit. This was an active operation targeting a network operating inside the child protection system itself. At approximately 4:18 a.m., entry teams moved simultaneously across all 3 locations, approaching quietly before initiating controlled entry into each property within seconds of one another. The operations were coordinated to prevent communication between sites, with teams securing entrances and moving quickly through interior spaces. At the first location, agents encountered minimal resistance as 2 adults were detained near the main living area, while additional officers moved deeper into the house to secure all rooms. At the second property, movement inside suggested attempted evasion, but the structure was secured within minutes. The third location was cleared with no immediate confrontation. Across all 3 sites, initial observations revealed similar patterns. Spaces that appeared staged rather than lived in, minimal personal belongings, and documentation materials spread across tables and storage areas. Within a short time, agents began identifying multiple sets of child identification records, transfer documents, and partially completed case files. But the most significant detail was not what was immediately visible. It was what was missing. In each property, there were clear signs that children had been present. Some had already been located during the initial phase of the operation. But the numbers didn't match. That was the moment it became real. This was not just a case of paperwork irregularities. This was an active transfer system. By approximately 4:40 a.m., as teams continued their search, evidence began to reveal the structure behind the operation. Investigators recovered 18 falsified family reunification case files, each containing complete documentation including approval signatures, transfer authorizations, and recipient identities that had already been validated through official channels. However, deeper analysis showed that at least 11 of those identities could not be linked to any real individual. Additional records revealed that multiple children assigned to those cases had been marked as successfully transferred, but their actual locations could not be confirmed. They had moved through the system without a trace. Inside one of the properties, agents discovered a concealed storage space containing duplicate identity packets prepared in advance. The pattern was clear. Children were not simply being misplaced in the system. They were being moved through it. As forensic teams analyzed the data, the scale of the network expanded rapidly beyond the initial locations. Investigators identified connections to at least 11 additional properties across 3 states. Financial analysis revealed structured payments tied to reunification cases across multiple accounts. In total, more than $68 million in transactions were linked to the network over a 2-year period. Routing data showed children being moved in stages, reassigned identities, and transferred again under new documentation. By this stage, investigators understood this was not isolated. It was a structured pipeline embedded within the system. By early morning, the operation expanded further as additional warrants were executed across multiple locations. Agents recovered transportation logs detailing interstate movement, along with records linking drivers, coordinators, and documentation handlers. At another location, investigators discovered a staging area where belongings were sorted by number rather than name. Across the operation, 26 children were confirmed connected to the network, with several located and others still under search. 19 individuals were detained or placed under investigation. The system had been disrupted, but not completely shut down, meaning this was bigger than one case. By sunrise, the properties had been secured, documents seized, and the system had begun to collapse. But not completely. The most important discovery was not the number of cases or individuals involved. It was how the system worked. Every movement happened within approved procedures, verified documents, and authorized processes. The system did not fail, it was used. And that's what makes it dangerous. Because the real danger is not always what breaks the rules, but what learns how to operate inside them without being seen, hidden in plain sight. And once that happens, the question is no longer whether something went wrong. It is how long it went unnoticed, and how much is still happening right now.